Um, Investors, good afternoon. Real estate enthusiasts, hope you all are doing well today. Is this light on? Okay, those are the question on physical pen. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, real estate investors. Hope you all are doing well today. I'm. I want to apologize for starting be behind schedule. It's due to some circumstances that is uh, way beyond my control. I sincerely apologize. So, if you are joining this live broadcast, please let me know where you are joining from. Good afternoon. I had numerous site inspection that I needed to do today, and it was a success. So I want to start by saying um, good afternoon, welcome, Ma. I want to apologize for starting way behind schedule. Uh, I had numerous site inspections I needed to do. So today I'm going to be talking about the Lagos Calabar. Hello, Ma. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please, if you are joining this broadcast, um, I want to apologize for starting behind schedule. We are supposed to start this 3:30, 4 o'clock. This is after 5. I want to apologize. So I also got a lot of inquiries yesterday. So I also promise to make this broadcast as short as possible. So there won't be any um, um, time that will be wasted today. In case you enjoyed that yesterday, I want to apologize. I want to thank everybody that was on that yesterday's broadcast. Thank you very much. So please, you can share this broadcast. So today we are going to be talking about the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, the advantages and the two many disadvantages. That obviously is poetic, and I kind of understand it. And a lot of people have been wondering how I've been able to come up with some of my topics. And the reason for that basically is due to the fact that I'm here, okay, based here in Lagos, Nigeria, and I know so many things. I've seen so many things, and in addition to that as well, I also cooperate with industries professionals. Like I have a list of registered surveyors. I have information about the industry. So we're going to be talking about the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, and I'm going to be starting obviously with the advantages anyway, because I know many people have been waiting to hear this. And thank you very much in case you are joining. Of course, you can also do well to like this video, and of course, if you have questions, you can also share your questions. You can decide to send me a direct inbox if you have my number. Of course, if you have been following all of our recorded episode of Property Matters, my numbers are there. My two direct numbers are there. You can drop a message. If you don't want to drop a comment on the comment section, you can drop a message. So let's talk about the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. First of all, I want to say kudos to the federal government of Nigeria for the construction of the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. I would say it's a brilliant idea, because for some of us that we actually ply this road, that we are conversant with this particular location, I can attest to the fact that the construction of this Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, for we the residents of Ibejuleki, it's a huge sign of relief for us, because for some of us who tour the Lekki road, you will agree with me that uh, the traffic in the Lekki axis has been an experience that people don't like to encounter. And the advantage here basically is that uh, if this construction is completed, the advantage basically is that it will be an alternative route to the Lekki Epe Expressway. And for the fact that it will be an alternative route, the good part basically is that if you have been driving towards that Dangote refinery axis of Ibeju-Lekki, you would have noticed, okay, the presence of heavy duty trucks. Most of those trucks are either lifting petroleum products from the refinery and taking them to the different locations of where they are needed. So the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road basically will ease, okay, the pressure of road usage. And I've also seen basically that government are not just focusing on the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. There's also a plan to also fix the regional road, and the regional road construction will be starting from the Eleganza industry of Ibeju-Lekki, and it's going straight also to the refinery and other parts of Ibeju-Lekki. So this obviously having multiple road network or alternative road network is a fantastic idea, and is going to open up Ibeju-Lekki to several opportunities. So my prayer basically is that God will give Lagos State government, okay, is it Lagos State that's construction? No, federal government. God will give them the energy, the strength to complete that road. Honestly, we need that coastal road for we, the road users that apply the Lekki Ajah axis. We need that road to be functional, because if that road is not functional and the refinery starts operation in full gear, Ibeju-Lekki will become a nightmare. So the good thing basically right now is that according to the Minister of Works and Housing, the person of Dr. David Umai, he said that there will be considerable efforts, okay, to ensure that the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road is completed in the first quarter of January 2026. So it's a good thing, and it will also be a very good alternative for most travelers. And having the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road will be an alternative for people who choose to travel using the Lagos Ibadan Expressway, of course. So it will be a very, very good one. So the advantages are numerous. Now it has opened the area to investment opportunities, and it's creating good employment opportunities. And basically, according to the ministry, they said over 30,000 Nigerians have been employed to work on the coastal road. So it's a very good opportunity, and is going to, we hope and pray that such opportunities is extended. And we are also appealing to the government to also look at the inward roads in the Ibeju-Lekki corridor. Presently right now, the Eleko road is undergoing massive rehabilitation as I'm talking to you right now, and it's a good thing. And with all this construction happening concurrently, it's a good it's good for investments. And Ibeju-Lekki, that used to be one of the most abandoned area right now, is becoming the talk of the town. And since the construction of this coastal road, I have seen a lot of real estate development company running to have properties in acres and hectares. And the reason why I'm making this video basically is to call the attention of real estate investors to some important things. Now, the reason why I'm making this video basically is that I've been actively involved in real estate activities, more importantly in the Ibeju-Lekki corridor, since 2019. And if you have been following all my my property matters video on this channel, it is very important that you stay tuned to this channel, because in fact the kind of videos that will be coming in right now is going to be a very enlightening video. So we've been doing so much, and we don't intend to stop. Several videos will be coming in, so that is just it. Now, the advantages right now is that the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road has made Ibeju-Lekki a choice investment destination. Number two, it has opened up that place to investment opportunities. And the reason why many people used to think that Ibeju-Lekki was far, basically, is due to the fact that we mostly have just one access road. That means you're driving all the way, regardless of, depending on where you're coming from, okay? If you're coming towards the mainland, you have to drive from the CMS, you have to come through Lekki, Aja, then you drive towards Shangotedo, Apijo before you get to Ibeju-Lekki. Right now, you can access Ibeju-Lekki right now from Ijebu-Ode, from Ogun State, and you can also access Ibeju-Lekki if you're coming towards the Ikorodu axis. So we have many access points right now, and is a very good one. Now, these are the advantages. The values of properties in this axis have increased numerically. It has increased. The demand for properties have also, increased. We have seen how property prices have surged even beyond expectations, and it has become, very, very alarming for people who had the opportunity to invest, in the Ibeju-Lekki corridor. Right now, Ibeju-Lekki investments is the talk of the town. So that is the advantages, because this video is in two parts, and like I said at the commencement of this broadcast, I don't intend, to hide any stones or leave any stones unturned. I'm going to explain things the way they are. Now, are there investment opportunities? Should I invest in this region because of the coastal road? My response would be a yes, and it would be a no. One thing many people fail to understand, basically, or what many real estate investors don't understand, basically, is that if you are investing in Lagos, Lagos is the center of excellence. I really don't care about some of the news, that may be circulating the internet about Lagos being smelling or some other things. You just can't take that credibility and that, that market demand that Lagos have. And regardless of some of the circumstances and the challenges that the state may be facing, I believe that some of the developed nations of this world also in their own part of history must have, experienced some of these things. And of course, that one thing about Africa is that Africa is developing. Okay, so that obviously. So the first question is, with all these advantages that I have outlined, okay, should I invest in the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road axis? I've gotten a lot of inquiries, and that is why I have decided. I'm just coming from site right now. I'm supposed to be taking a brief nap and preparing for movement tomorrow, because I'm going to be touring some apartments on the Lagos mainland tomorrow. I'll be going towards the Ikeja, the VI axis of Lagos tomorrow. But I just have to make this video, and that was why I decided that I will not be making so the video that will be coming tomorrow, by God's grace, will be a recorded video, so you can see some of the tours we have been doing on the mainland. So I've gotten a lot of inquiries that I just focused on Ibeju-Lekki. No, I'm focused on every part of the island, starting from Aja, Shangotedo, Abijo, Ibeju-Lekki. Then I'm also focused on the Lagos mainland as well, because I grew up on the Lagos mainland. So I had to shift, focus to Ibeju-Lekki because of this notable, development that we have there. Now, the question basically now is, should I invest in the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road? It's a yes and a no. So let me quickly explain the yes. And please, whenever I'm making explanations, I always try as much as I can to be as straightforward, as simple as ever. Now, the presence of the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road in the Ibeju-Lekki corridor is a strong indicator that government interest is in this axis. With all these constructions that we have in the Ibeju-Lekki axis, This is a strong indicator that government interest is there. And with this indicator of government interest, this obviously is also a clear indicator of some risk that is not always being projected when investment or properties are being marketed. And one of the things in my years of experience doing real estate is that if I'm to invest, okay, in a location where government interest is notable or it is profound, it is very important that I pay attention to some circumstances and some points that I'll be highlighting. Now, a lot of people are rushing to the coastal road because of the fact that the project has started. But many people have failed to understand that this present coastal road alignment was not the original alignment. Please pay attention to some of the information that I'll be sharing. Now, this present coastal road alignment was shifted because that was not where the road was supposed to be. The original alignment was in the eastern part of Ibeju-Lekki. That means if you're looking at the eastern part of Ibeju, you're looking at the villages of the Igondo, Orudu, the Moseyo. So the coastal road is supposed to pass in front of those axes, but because of circumstances that is best known to government, they decided to take the coastal road backward instead of what? Bringing it forward. Now, we have seen that there have been some level of political stability in Nigeria. And one of the things that determines the kind of project that happens is always based on government policy. Please pay attention very closely to some of these things that I'll be explaining, because I don't intend to stay long on this broadcast so that I can prepare for my mainland trip, because I'll be showing a lot of real estate investors of some of the investment we have on the Lagos mainland, lands, houses, shortlets and the like. So tomorrow, and of course I'll try to record some of the mainland trip tomorrow, and of course upload it on my YouTube channel. So this is why you have to stay tuned in case you're wondering where can I station my real estate investment. So as I was saying, the coastal road alignment was shifted, and because of the fact that there is a coastal road, many people are rushing to buy lands there. Now, the advantage basically is that as a real estate investor, when you are buying, or if you are buying land within the coastal road axis, take note of the initial road alignment that the construction was supposed to go through. And if you must buy properties in that place, my advice is that you should stay far away from that alignment. Now, the reason why I'm saying this basically is that presently we have an APC government in power. We have some people calling the shots. God forbid, if another government comes in the following year and they decide to do another construction work using the original alignment that was in the initial plan. So if you are buying Ibeju-Lekki, ensure that you do what? You stay clear from the previous alignment. Number two, the second disadvantage basically is that larger percent of some companies that are doing development along the coastal road may have problems with government. And the reason why they will have problems basically is that if you must buy, ensure that you let them complete the construction of the coastal road before you start anything on the properties you have bought. Let me reiterate this fact again so that I can be as clear as possible. If you must buy, wait until the construction of the coastal road has been done before you commence construction on your property. Why did I say so? One of the things I've come to realize basically is that if you have been following the construction of this coastal road, you realized, or you would have observed, that the federal government is spending so much money in sand filling the land. You will notice that the coastal road is so high to the point that it is even higher than the normal ground level, like the ground level of some of the construction of roads that most people use. You will see that what government is doing is an heavy concrete floor on the coastal road. And these are some of the things that I need to explain. My own fear, okay, is that I doubt, I stand to be corrected. This is not an affirmation or a conclusion. I'm just expressing my own concern. Okay? I doubt if some real estate development company will have the resources. Because you see, in construction, if you are building very close to a major road like a coastal road, okay, the building regulation clearly states that your construction or the foundation of your building should be higher than the normal road level. And the reason for that basically is to avoid cases of once it rains heavily, so that the water will not be channeling from the road into your own estates. However, it is generally believed, okay, that a good drainage system should be constructed alongside with the coastal road, okay. It's supposed to be so, but I will not buy thinking that the construction workers or whoever is handling the project will put that into consideration. So, in other words, I would say it is not always advisable, okay, to do what? To think that they will do the right thing. So, my own advice basically is that if you have bought, ensure that you are located miles away from the coastal road. In fact, try as much as possible to stay very, very far. And I will explain why. The coastal road is going to become one of the busiest roads in Lagos. And according to plan, there is going to be a rail that will also, there's going to be a rail track along the coastal road. Now, picture a scenario whereby cars and trains are moving almost at the same pace. The question basically now is, if your property or your house, your residential house is very close to that, do you think it will be conducive for your tenants? And so these are some of the things you need to put into consideration. So my advice, stay miles away from the road. Now, the reason why I'm saying that basically is that as the activities of the road continues, I have this impression basically that there will be urgent need in the future to increase the length and the width of the road. So please stay as far away from the coastal road. Disadvantage number two. Disadvantage number two basically is that the land that is facing the coastal road will become unnecessarily expensive. Permit me to use that phrase. And my own major concern now basically is that regardless of the price, okay, that this property is being sold for, okay, regardless of what they intend to do. My whole major concern basically is that will the real estate development companies selling properties very close to the coastal road, will they be able to live up to the expectation of environmental hazard? Because you see, in Nigeria, most of development companies are not as futuristic as many people envisage them to be. And it is very, very important to put that into consideration. Now, the truth basically is that apart from some notable, courageous, and reputable real estate development firm that are also selling properties along the coastal road, that I am convinced that these guys may be able to live up to some expectation. Beware of some development companies that may not have your investment interest at heart. I was speaking with one of my site engineer when I went for one of our inspection, and he went to do, because he was part of those engineers that were employed to work part-time in the construction of the coastal road. So this guy has the opportunity to shuttle. He's on shift. Okay, so there are some times he has to be on the coastal road, and he said something very, very profound, something that you should know if you are buying properties close to the coastal road. Now, in construction, as he explained, there is a construction level, there is an observation level, and there is a testing level. I'm explaining it the way he said it. He said in construction, more importantly, if you are constructing a major road like that, he said that there is a construction level, there is an observation level, and there is a testing level. He said presently right now, they are presently observing the construction. Remember I said at the commencement of this broadcast, I said that the government deliberately sand-filled that road. And that road, when you look at how high the coastal road is, in fact, the coastal road is higher than some projects and some buildings in that area. And what this particular engineer told me was that when they were testing the road, they found out that as cars and heavy-duty trucks were driving along the coastal road, they observed that the road was shaking. Because you see, when they are constructing, they test their construction to find out if there are necessary adjustments to be done. He said he found out that the road was shaking, meaning that the road is yet to solidify. Now, he now went further to say that the consequences of this is that if this shaking, now the shaking does not mean the road, okay, will spoil or the road is not properly constructed. He said that in construction, please pay attention to this because I'm diving a little bit deeper and I want to give a professional explanation to this so that you can have a well academical knowledge of what is going on. So he said that when some heavy duty truck moves, he said there are some parts of the coastal road that vibrates when they move. And he said the reason for that vibration is due to the fact that the soil structure or the soil texture of some parts in the coastal road are not uniform. So there are some places whereby the trucks will drive, the shaking is not happening in those areas, and there are areas where the shaking is so profound. He said the reason for that is based on the fact that there are some places where the soil is wet, and that is why you notice that government is heavily sand filling the road. Now, he now went further to say that if this shaking continues, that structures that are very closer to the coastal road may be affected because of the vibration of the road. That was what my engineer said. He said structures that may be closer to this coastal road, as long as heavy duty trucks continue to move, the road will vibrate, it's solidify, it's strong. He said, but the vibration will now have impact on constructions or houses or anything that is very closer to the coastal road. And this obviously is at the observation stage. You now see the reason why it is very important, very crucial, or should I say fundamental. So you now see the reason why it is very important that you have to consider the professional part when you are buying properties. You know, I have said it before, times without number. You now see the reason why it is very, very important, why you must involve professionals in everything you do in Lagos. It's very, very important. So my engineer told me that if this vibration continues as a movement of heavy trucks, he said structures or buildings within those coastal road areas stand the risk of what? Of having cracks after construction. Because the vibration will begin to affect structures. And that was one of the reasons why I said it is very important that you stay as far as possible. You know, they will say, buy land to be very close to the coastal road. You can build your structures, you can build this. And this is why it is very, very important not to overlook or undermine the role of involving professionals when you are buying real estate. See, the real estate sector has gone to a point whereby every agencies must be adequately consulted before you make a buying decision. Because as long as circumstances like this, as long as circumstances like this continues to happen. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is not to discourage you from buying. No. A lot of people will appreciate this video I'm making today when some of these things begins to happen, when the road is fully constructed. Now, in construction, I'm not an engineer, but I would say I'm an informed real estate practitioner here in Lagos. So that is why I can explain some of these things so that you can, have an accurate understanding of some of these things. And get back in one. Okay, my worry. All right, sorry, I wanted to chat. My battery is low, so I wanted to plug this phone. Apologies. So this is why it is very important that if you are buying real estate, see, pay for professionals to check. So this is one out of several disadvantages, in as much as fact that the place is juicy, there is interest there, government interest is there. In fact, anywhere you see constructions, okay, you see constructions, you see some places, government officials are there. If I can tell you, we have so many expatriates in Ibejuleki. In fact, we have, for some of us that are familiar with the Beachwood, the Lakowe lakes and like, so we have more of those, the Chinese, the Indians, the Lebanese that are working in the refinery, the free trade zone. They are presently, residing in that. And because of the presence of the Europeans, it has made, the worth of properties to increase drastically, and people who own property there now are making money. But we should not just talk about only the advantage without overlooking, do you understand, what could become a future disaster. Today now everybody is talking about Lekki is flooded. Once it rains, okay, a lot of people swim in water. A lot of people have even decided to make joke out of it, but many people do this, okay, without doing an accurate, analysis of what exactly is the foundation of all these problems. A lot of people don't pay attention to that. So one major disadvantage is that if this vibration of this road continues, structures within those properties where this road are start the race of what? Of having problems because of the continuous vibration. So what is the solution? Excuse me. What is the solution? Now, if I join this broadcast, please do well to subscribe to this channel. I'll be doing this more often, though I've been doing it for quite a while. But anytime I don't come online, is because I have to address or attend to some important issues. Okay, and these issues are, regarding to getting investors' documents, going for physical allocation, supervising structures and the likes. So I've been doing that for quite a time now. If you have been following me on my YouTube, you would have seen some of the great works I've been doing. So in case you need a professional service in real estate activities, whether it's on the mainland or the island, Lagos specifically, you can choose to work with us. But let us continue with our analysis. So my engineer said the vibration of this road is going to have impact. So what is the way forward? Number one, conduct your own proper search. And search basically right now is not like due diligence. Of course, it's almost like due diligence, but the most important thing basically is that get a professional to know these areas that experiences vibrations and stay away from them. Regardless of the price they are selling, stay away from them. That's just a fact. Stay away from them. Because you see, like you rightly said, you see, the problem we experience in Lagos today, okay, are that many people saw flashes, okay, of these problems and they choose to ignore. Today, everybody's talking about the Lekki flooding right now. There were people who, because of greed, they wanted to have more units to sell, Sandfield Canal, and they erected structures. And today now, once it rains, Lekki becomes a swimming pool. And we just don't look at, all we talk majorly is the problem. We don't look at the major factors that causes the problem. So stay with. Then number two, don't invest because of price. Now, one of the easiest way to have real estate problem is to prioritize price and ignore obvious signs of problems in the future. Okay, so there's this developer that has been around in the Ibejuleki axis. I was privileged to have a meeting with her. We had a lengthy conversation, and after our conversation, I understood so many things. You see, the purpose, if you have discovered this YouTube channel, the first thing I want to say basically is that try as much as possible to stay clear, to stay glued to this channel, because a lot of information that you'll be getting here cannot be quantified with some of the things you may get to see elsewhere. So in situations like this, she told me that one of the reasons why she has built successfully, see, forget what the drone picture they show you when they are advertising property to you. Don't just be carried away with those beautiful aesthetics, those beautiful, how do I explain this now? Those beautiful oratories, captivating moments, nice video. There are some places in Ibejuleki that is waterlogged. When we talk about water, confirm water. And because of the fact that some places in this area have poor environmental planning and there is no sustainability of some of these environmental problems, these problems has lingered on for a very long period of time. And if you don't understand some of these areas, you'll be making a mistake. So there are some places that you have to do almost the same sand filling in Ibejuleki than what you and it's also similar to the same sand filling you do in other parts of the island. So there are places that are confirmed. When I talk about water, I'm not talking about other, I'm talking about confirmed water, swamp, confirmed swamp. And the annoying thing basically, apart from some, because whenever I make videos like this, I'm always very mindful not to generalize, but there are some that once they have sold and they have allocated to you, whatsoever problem you may have is none of their business. So in a situation whereby you have to sand fill, okay, you are paying a fortune to sand fill, and most of these guys are aware of these costs, and they ignore it. Like I said at the commencement of this broadcast, I'm not trying to discourage you, okay, from investing. I'm just trying to open your eyes to some of the you see, these problems are unseen now because the construction is still in progress, okay? And the mistake most Nigerians do is that they rush to a location because of the project and they don't do a critical evaluation of what could be the problems because of this project, the problems that may arise in the future. That's why I said coastal road purchase is good. Stay clear from the coastal road. Then number 2, one disadvantage you should run out from is that a lot of companies will struggle to put the necessary facilities there. And what you must now be mindful of if you are investing is that you should be mindful of a developer. Please, can I have water? You should be mindful of a developer that does not have a well-structured drainage layout. Be mindful. Because you see, the moment it rains heavily, I can assure you that some places will be flooded. Okay, some places will be flooded, and the leftover of the water from that flood will move confidently. If I don't know if I'm permitted to use that particular phrase or that expression, but it will move confidently to all these estates, because I can assure you that some people will be so greedy that all they will sell is land. They won't put a good drainage system that will avoid flooding in the future. So it is very important that you work with a developer that has a well-designed drainage layout. This is how a developer should be able to explain to you, this is how, okay, I intend to handle my drainage. This is how I intend to channel water. They should begin to anticipate what could be the likely problems as the construction of that road progresses. So it is very important that we look at this holistically and give a clear explanation to some of these things. Let me quickly say that I am not discouraging you, okay, from investing, but I'm trying as much as I can to prepare your mind to the likely problems that may arise. You see, one of the mistakes some first set of Ibejuleki investors made basically is that many people did not see the construction of this coastal road, and a lot of people paid dearly for it. Now that the construction have started, you should also anticipate what could be the likely problems. And number 1, flooding. Now, generally, I said yesterday that there are some places in Ibejuleki that is not water prone. However, when there's a road of that magnitude, okay, a construction of the road of that magnitude in that area, it is commonsensical that a developer should anticipate flooding. Whether or not that government will put drainage or not is not the issue. You must be able to anticipate what could be the likely problem, and you must put adequate preparations and measures to ensure that this thing does not affect you, and if it does affect you, it does not overwhelm you. And this is why it is very important that we explain some of these things to you. So as you are investing, don't just embrace the benefits, anticipate the challenges that may come along with the benefits. So you must pay attention to some of these things. Now, going forward, who should I buy from if I want to invest in the coastal area of Ibeju-Lekki? Who should I buy from? So I have some couple of questions here. The the interesting thing is that the live broadcast is still on, but I've received several questions on my WhatsApp. So of course we will be attending to some of those questions. I like the fact that it's not just like a broadcast whereby somebody gets talking. We also give room for interaction so that the broadcasts or the live session will not be a one-sided show. Okay, it makes a lot of sense for you to be like that. So let's talk about who you should buy from. Number one, don't buy because of price. See, don't buy because of price. You should understand basically that some people will sell cheap and not attend to you when there's a need for them to do so, while some people will sell expensive and out of the cost they have factored a lot of things into consideration. Now, when I talk about factoring a lot of things into consideration, I honestly don't like to mention the name of brand, but there's a particular real estate company today in the Ibeju-Lekki axis that has my respect and forever will command my respect. I've been having successful transactions with these real estate companies. We've bought, we have, taken investors there, and trust me, okay, these particular real estate development companies have always lived up to expectations. Now, this is not to discourage other real estate construction companies, but this is actually like a wake-up call for other emerging real estate companies to look at what this particular developer is doing that is making her, okay, by using her, I'm now being specific, by making her to be very, very unique in the industry. So we need to look at that. Now, I'm going to be making some recommendations based on what this particular developer has done. And despite the fact that there's a coastal road constructions, there might be challenges in the future because of the construction, this particular company have anticipated these things and they have provided workable solutions. Looking at their drainage layouts, there are different kinds of drainage layouts. I'm going to be having a show where I'll be bringing one of our professionals on site that is going to be talking about drainages, the types of drainages, types of drainage layouts. And for some of us, we'll be looking forward, to go into construction of their own properties. This particular guest on the show will be explaining some of these things. I'll be looking forward to that. We should have had that session, but basically he's been very, very busy. But I'll try as much as I can, okay, to have him. And of course, we talk about this because I also intend to start, inviting industry professionals so that you can see basically that we don't just talk, we work with professionals. We do because we understand this. So basically, don't buy because of price. Don't buy because of price because it is dangerous to buy from a company that just want to sell ASAP, raise funds, and disappear. Trust me, I've been in this industry. I know what it means to run after developer because a lot of people are of this opinion that the only thing that may happen, in the future, basically, is just like let them just allocate. It doesn't just stop at allocation. My dear real estate investor, let me start by saying it does not just end at allocation, because after allocation, you certainly want to build. So there are some important facilities that must be in the estate that will make building comfortable for you. So, and if you have at some point, okay, compromised the integrity of who you are buying from, there will be problems. They will. I'm not saying this to scare you, but I'm just saying this based on the level of experiences we have had. I can tell you basically some of the things we've had. I've had, several courses of some real estate companies selling off, and they're off the scene, and you have to go and pay omonile have access to those lands. That's why I'm saying don't buy because of price, please. Buy from a developer who is ready to develop. And I'm going to explain what I meant by that. If a developer is selling a land for you, okay, along the coastal area, okay, and is saying, just like the way it has been said generally, do this, do this, do this. I honestly don't have, problems with that if that will be the case. But the question basically is the developer ready for the kind of challenges that will come into that coastal road? many people don't even have a clue of what will happen, the kind of heavy duty trucks that will be moving in that area, the kind of traffic congestion that may happen once in a while, the kind of presence that will be coming in, and there might be some unforeseen circumstances where government may be mandated to even extend the road. And that is why it is I did a video where I was talking about understanding setbacks. When I was talking about road alignment, I was talking about right of ways. If you have not seen that video, I would advise you check through and understand. See, investing in Lagos comes with understanding. It is very important. So the developer must prepare. Number one, you should be, if they tell you basically that we have measured the setbacks, then I think the first question you should ask them is that, what are the setbacks? What is the minimum requirement of setbacks that government has? So you have to be very, very sure. Number two, the developer must show you the present and the future plan for that area. You see, these things are very crucial, and a lot of people neglect this, and that is why I'm on this broadcast, and I am unapologetic about what I want to say. I don't sell for every real estate development company. For those who have been working with me I have investors that have been working with me since 2018, 2019, 2020. They can attest to the fact. A lot of them will say, Adejare, you are not even promoting this particular estate that has gone viral. And I will say, some of them have even come to meet me and they've said, not just like out of anger, but out of excitement, we do interact, we relate, and we discuss some crucial things. And they'll say, so you know about this estate? I'll say, which estate? Okay. Now the only time I only get to go there is when they're interested in investing. They'll say, okay, fine, I've seen this estate too, I think I like it, but I need you to help me do due diligence, and I want to buy this thing, but I won't be buying it unless you give me your own review. Now, as a real estate investor, what has made me stand out? This is not pride though. Is that I have been able, through my years of experience, to identify a danger even when it is not obvious. I've been able. So basically, I'm this kind of person that you won't see me advertise this, advertise this, advertise. In fact, if I should explain what we put into consideration, the kind of due diligence we do before we say buy from this person. In fact, anytime you are in the country and you want to appreciate the good work, you should come with a chilled bottle of wine to say thank you for the job well done. And basically, we have also seen a lot of abandoned projects, and surprisingly, or should I say unfortunately rather, don't let me use the word surprisingly. I'll say unfortunately, these guys that have a lot of abandoned estate are still selling to real estate developers. So basically, I don't advertise everything. I don't work with I only see in this industry, it is better, okay, to just have maybe one or two high profile real estate development company and stick with them. And the reason for so basically is that Lagos is a center of excellence, and regardless of who you are or what you know, the moment you are not ready to live up with that excellent standard that Lagos have set, you'll be punished. If you doubt this, look at the demolition of properties that is presently going on in the Ikota. So there's a standard Lagos have set for everything. More importantly, more importantly in real estate. And I'm on a live session, and I'm not scared to say that this standard, a lot of people cannot meet up that standard. And not meeting up the standard comes with consequences. It does. And I won't want a situation whereby you will put your money in a property and you see her, and it is Adijare that brought into this property, God forbid. And that's why we are always careful before we make recommendations. And you would not see us here. If it is just 2 or 3 companies that can live up with that standard that Lagos State is concerned, regardless of what they sell, we are ready to stick with them. Because, God forbid, we know how hard most of you work, and we won't be a party to a situation whereby people will now make fun or make you lose money. Never. So there's a standard. We really need to establish that. And this coastal road is way more than what is being projected to you people, to investors. More importantly, most of you that are in the diaspora, it's more than that. What many people are just doing that, they are just running to that place because there's a coastal road, because they know investors will be interested. Many of them are not aware of some of the laws and regulations government will be giving. You know, one amazing thing about Nigerian governments is that they will not say you should not develop. They will not say you should not build. They will fold their hands and put it on their chin, and they'll be looking at everybody. Oh yeah, make all of them they do what they do. By the time they start bringing out regulations, that is when a lot of people say, if I had known, I would have not be part of it. So I'll be going very quickly to the question and answer section. I have 5 questions here, and I don't want this broadcast to exceed an hour, maximum 10-20 minutes. So I'll be calling it a wrap very soon. But let me just quickly attend to some of the questions that I have here. So the question says, are you not saying we should not invest in the coastal road because I've already bought with? Okay, this particular question, I've actually mentioned the name of the company. No, I'm not saying you should not. No, please. Okay, maybe you joined the broadcast at the middle, but the good thing is that the broadcast will be there. If you did not join from the beginning, you can watch it later, which we want later. What I'm saying basically is that you should be mindful of who you buy from, because if you are buying a property very close to a government project, the standards will be high, and government finds it extremely joyful for you to violate their standard. So if you must buy from a real estate development company that has the capacity, the resources to do what? To meet up with the standard, so that there won't be problems for you in the future. Okay, so I have another question. This question says, what are the major things I should look out for before I invest in the coastal road? This is a very, very wonderful question. Thank you very much. Okay, the name here is, am I permitted to to say your name? Okay, but I don't think I need to. The 3 things. Number 1, the brand. The brand. Because it is important for a brand with integrity to research the place they want to sell. I cannot but emphasize the brand. Number 2, their developmental plan. What will determine if the property in that coastal road will be useful for you, okay, is what they intend to do. Number 3, their integrity. Now, integrity in the sense that a company can have a development plan, but when a company struggles with integrity, it becomes a problem. And that is why we have a lot of abandoned, when we talk about abandoned, we talk about abandoned projects in Lagos. And it's quite sad that investors will put millions of naira to buy projects and they will come back and those things are nothing to write home about. So you really want to look at these three things if you are buying. So another question says, wow, I don't intend to stay long, but I have some couple of questions here. God help me, I'll try to. So it says, what are the required setbacks? Okay, for this setback, the coastal road is a federal government project. So as far as setbacks are concerned, I'm not that kind of conversant with federal government setbacks. But for this real project that government intends to start very soon, I know to the right the setback for the real project is 96 meter. I can categorically tell that. And the reason why I have this information is because it's a state project. I think I will just have to upgrade my knowledge level to be conversant with federal projects too, so that I'll be able to read this information. And to the left, the setback is 35 meters immediately after the pipeline. So there's a pipeline to the left. So that is for the real construction. So, but what I'm going to do basically is that I'm going to speak with some of my engineers who is working on. I have some of my engineers who are working at the coastal road on a part-time basis. You will definitely have good information to spread. So I have another question very quickly. Okay. Can you help me verify the property I bought along the coastal road? No, I can't. No, I can't. And the reason why I will not be able to do that, I'm going to explain this. Thank you for this question, because a lot of people have been reaching out to me and they've been saying I've been turning out requests to conduct due diligence. And I did one recently. Is it recent? Okay, it's around that, I think, April, May. No, around March. Yes, March, April. Okay, and this, initially I was reluctant to do it, but this particular, the reason why I did it basically was the realtor that actually sold to this diasporan investor was not turning up. Okay, that was one of the reasons. And number two, I did it because of the fact that the man is not here and he deserved, okay, to know the status of the property he bought. So I sent some of my team members, my surveyors, and they did a well-detailed project due diligence, and they sent the reports. And this man went to the company and he said basically that this so person can imagine did this so diligence on your property, and that is so what this particular man has done basically has put my life in danger. If the developer has a very bad intention, God forbid, the innocent hired assassin saying that I'm spoiling their business. So in the area of diplomacy, a lot of real estate investors have not been diplomatic on the way they handle important information, more importantly on the status of the property they bought. So I don't do due diligence. I hope you won't take this offensive, but I I don't do it again. But if you need the service of some of our professional, I think you just have to pay their fee and they will do it. So if you have bought, okay, and I must also state this, that I'm not also a surveyor, so it is not in my prerogative, okay, to do due diligence. And more importantly, if you are bought, scripture says wisdom is profitable to buy. Initially, you are supposed to consult us before buying. One of the reasons why we make videos basically is that we educate investors so that they can be aware of some of these underlying circumstances. After you have bought, I won't even, it doesn't matter what you say or what you feel. I can't, I'm sorry. So I hope that registered. Okay. So I also got another question. What is the time frame for the development? I don't know. Although it has been projected that the first phase or the entire road, I think the Minister of Works, Dr. David Umai, said that they intend to complete the first phase of the coastal road January 2026 next year, and other construction will. So we should just keep our fingers crossed and monitor the situation as the entire thing progresses. But for now, uh, I will. Okay, so I have another question here. It says you blow hot and cool and make it difficult to get you in the coastal road lines. Okay, I would need you, sir, to be more specific. And you said I blow hot and cool and make it difficult to get you in these coastal road lands. Okay, okay. Um, Let me quickly just make some clarifications. Investing in the coastal road is a fantastic idea. Please, Mr. Mine, please pay attention to this. It is a fantastic idea. I am not disputing the fact that the opportunities that will be there are endless. Are you with me? They are endless. Once that project has been completed, okay, it's going to usher a lot of development there. But it is very important to understand the opportunities and the projected difficulties that may come with it. Now, the opportunities will be fully actualized if you have bought from the right company. Do you understand? See, the reason why I'm making this video basically is that we have every Tom, Dick, and Harry selling properties in the coastal roads. And we've had a lot of unpleasant circumstances of real estate companies selling properties, and in the midst of challenges and difficulties, they are nowhere to be found. So, Mr. Mine, it is good to invest, but you must prioritize who you invest with. And maybe you joined this broadcast in the middle because I've said a lot of things, but this video will be available maybe at your leisure time, okay? You can go back and watch some of the things I've said, but I'm just going to try as much as I can to summarize some of the key points, the highlight of the major things you said. It is very good to invest in the coastal road, but however, you need to be mindful of who you invest with. And I said, now, let me just quickly say this. There are a lot of companies that are selling properties along that coastal roads, and they don't have the title they are using to sell. So if I'm coming online, I'm not saying this because I want to get popularity on the line. No, every information I'm dishing out, if you doubt them, hire a professional to go and investigate some of these things I'm saying. If any turns out to be a lie, you are free to unfollow me on social media for disbursing wrong information. There are some development company that will tell you they have allocation on the coastal road and they don't even have a single title on it. How about that one? So what I'm trying to say in essence is that in as much as fact that investing in that area is very, very important, is a very good one, you need to be mindful. It is not every Tom, Dick, and Harry that advertise land from you that you buy from. So that's what I'm trying to say, Mr. Harry. So I'm not blowing hot and cold, but I'm trying as much as I to be diplomatic so that I will not be misquoted in this broadcast. I don't know if you have gotten what I'm trying to say. So I said it at commencement. Number one, you must buy from a company that is credible. Number two, you must buy from a developer that has a plan, because you see, in as much as fact that there are opportunities in that coastal road, there will be challenges as well. I cited a scenario of one of my engineers saying that some portion of the coastal road vibrates when every duty truck moves on it, and he said that as a result of that vibration, any properties, okay, that are very close to those coastal road will be affected. The vibration will weaken foundations of some of those. You know, a lot of people will not even have the required industry expertise to do construction, and they will construct there. Nigeria is a country whereby some people don't pay, adequate information to adequate details to knowledge. So some of these things. So if you must buy, investing in the coastal road is good, though. It's a fantastic thing. If you can afford to do so, please don't hesitate to do. However, be mindful of who you buy from, because number one, a lot of people will not be able to live up to the challenges of having properties there. Number two, in fact, there are some that they don't even have title on it. You can see how heartless some people can be. They are saying this our land has C of O. You will carry surveyor and go and check, and you find out that there is no title on it. How do we explain? How do we explain scenarios like that? So you obviously need to look at that as well if you are buying. Do you understand? So a lot of people, let me even tell you one thing, Mr. Mine. Sorry, I have to say this. A lot of people are selling lands there. After selling, you won't see them again, because a lot of them are using it as an opportunity. Use coastal road to gather people's attention, make money and leave. So we have a lot of developed projects. So the reason why I'm making it is I'm tired of seeing abandoned projects. And that is why it is very important we come and tell you people the way things are, so that we can avert unpleasant circumstances like this. It is very important. So I'm doing a great job by explaining some of these things to you. So if you must buy, please, sir, if you must buy, don't look at price. Prioritize the brand, because it is not every brand that will have the resources to develop a full-fledged estate in that area, because development along the coastal road will take more than what is being projected. Thank you. I'm glad I've been able to take this. So I'm just going to add, I've stayed beyond. So I want to quickly say a very big thank you to everybody that has joined this live broadcast. And I also want to apologize for starting way too late. I had to attend to a lot of site duties, and of course we are supposed to have this earlier before now, but I think even starting by this time is turned out to be a wonderful idea, because I have more people online. So I want to say a very big thank you to everybody. In case you're coming across this channel, you can subscribe, and please give me a thumb like and share this video. Let your friends, family, loved ones, more importantly, real estate enthusiasts, those who still have the plan, okay, to have a retirement home back in Nigeria. I don't want my people over there to buy properties and they don't find out that what they bought is not useful. Okay, that's the essence of some of the things we are doing. Thank you very much. So I'm going to take one more question. I'll call it. So I'm going to be dropping a video by tomorrow on some of our projects on the mainland, which is the Cresville apartment. If you have inquiries, my number is also on the caption of that video. You can call in for inquiries. So I'm going to take one final question, then I'll call it a wrap. I also want to apologize once again for starting way behind schedule, but I think this starting now at this time is the best. So I have another question here that says, how can I know a developers that can meet up with the standard? Okay, the easiest way to know a developer that can meet up with the standard is their track record. Ladies and gentlemen, my people abroad and in who might be watching this video, not everybody can afford to do a successful project in the coastal, because it's going to take a whole lot. If you see what government is spending to sandfill in that place alone, and the catastrophic thing basically is that 60% of all the lands facing the coastal road are waterlogged. 60%. You won't see it in the video. I'm not saying you should not buy, please. How do I say this? I'm not saying you should not buy, but it's just, this is more or less like a consumer education. Understand what you are buying before you pay for it. 60% of all these lands are waterlogged. When you talk about water, if government that is doing road is sand filling, how much more? So you must buy from a developer who is aware of these costs and is ready to deliver service. Very ready. But you don't get to see all this thing in the app. In fact, there was a day I went for a particular allocation was to go on behalf of the diaspora, and the man is not around. So the realtor that sold knew what it sold to the man. So the man called, and we had a conversation. It was not it was not convenient for me to be there, but I said, okay, fine, let me go. And when I got there, the first thing I was given was a boot. And I said, it's physical allocation now. I'm not going to swim, so why do I need a boot? The surveyor that was handing out that allocation, he spoke Yoruba. He doesn't know I'm also Yoruba, so he spoke Yoruba. He said, you don't even know what you have come here to do. Lo and behold, we trekked 10 minutes from where was advertised before we got to where this property is. And when this diasporan investor called me and said, how was it? I didn't want to sound like like I was discouraging this one. So please, investors, if you're watching this video, whether you have bought or you're willing to buy, please, if you cannot afford, please, I don't want you to I don't want to seem like I'm discouraging you, but this is actually my own word of advice to you. If you must buy any landed property, okay, in Lagos, anywhere, whether it's Bejuleki, whatever, if you cannot afford to meet the first two allocations, okay, if you cannot afford to meet the first two allocations, I beg you in God's name, leave that property. Because you see, when they will allocate you, where they will allocate you, you may not even need the place. So because in most cases where it is advertised is way farther to where the property is, and there's been a lot of mischievousness even from the way most of these things are being done. So I can see I can see a lot of things like that have happened. So please, if you must buy a landed property, because allocation is done on the basis of first come first serve, okay? So I usually encourage my my investors, if you can pay within 6 months, okay, please do so. The moment you are doing 18 months, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that where you be allocated, it will be very far. So if you cannot afford to spread the payments within 6 to 1 year, please leave that land, leave that property, because where most people are always allocated is not where it's, you know, being projected. So that's just it. So I'll take one more question. I have more people joining. Thank you very much. You can also share your experience. Let the comment section keep buzzing. I'm supposed to have rounded this up. This is 6:30 Nigerian time. I don't know your time over there. So you want to look at that as well. So this question says, so what are the basic infrastructures that a developer should do? Because I just paid for one property yesterday. Okay, now because of the fact that it is a road, the first thing the developer must do basically is that the developer must pay close attention to drainage. I have to say this now. I find it extremely funny. It's laughable if you are spending 40 million, you are spending 50 million to buy a property that does not have a good drainage system. No, to me, it doesn't make sense. Like, what exactly is the developer developing? So, number one, you must look out for drainage. Number two, the road level. I mean, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Ensure that your road level is higher than the one government is doing. There's this scenario of a house a diaspora wanted to sell, and I understood the reason why this particular client wanted to sell, because the developer that built that house is supposed to be brought out in public and flogged repeatedly, because the man built the house like like a bricklayer. It was so annoying that the road level of where the houses was even higher than the foundation of the house. So that obviously is laughable, is an error. So the developer that you must buy into must pay attention to the road level. Then number three, the developer must stay far away. Must stay far away from the coastal road. Remember, I also said at the commencement of this video that there was an original alignment that the coastal road was supposed to pass before it was adjusted to where the construction is presently going on. Their property, nothing should make you to go and buy road in that previous alignment too, because another government can come and say they want to do another road there. Now, because of the fact that that place has been allocated for a road construction, I can assure you that some mischievous, fraudulent, heartless people will still go there and they will selling that land. So, and because of the fact that most real estate investors don't pay attention to some of these details, they fall victim. So please stay away. Now, your developer must pay attention, must stay. If government say, like, I'm just making this as an assumption, that the required setback is 20 meters, please and please ensure that your developer had additional 20 or 30 meters to that one that government has stipulated, because there might be a need for a road adjustment in the future. Then finally, the title. See, a lot of people are advertising as allocation. A lot of people are advertising as C of O. A lot of people are advertising as governor's consent. Now, the reason why I'm saying this basically is that I have done search. Okay, in fact, I've done search for 5 diasporan that wanted to buy in some of these advertised property, and I found out that they don't have the title. And the sad thing is that people are buying. I'm coming. Thank you. I found out that they don't have this title. So in this kind of situation, what do we do? So these are some of the things. My time is fast spent. So what we should now do basically is that if you have biscuits. Okay, we'll get to biscuits. Biscuits. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm coming. Okay. Water. Go and collect water from Zaida. She'll give you. So please, investors abroad, everywhere you find yourself, try as much as possible to do a thorough due diligence if you are buying. So I want to say a very big thank you to everybody. I'll be dropping another video tomorrow by God's grace on Shortlet, and we'll be having another live session by God's grace on Wednesday next week. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye.